Hey everybody, this is William and this is Bushido Gamer. So, how you guys doing today? So we got a new game today. The game today is going to be Eternal Kings. So it's like a play on a chess game using cards instead of the figurines you usually use for chess. So this was done by Rolo Issa Games. And let's go into the game a little bit. So the game is all about, it's chess. There's 4 different factions that you can use, and then each have a kind of like a different discipline. Fuck that. Cut. Just, Hey everybody, this is William, Bushido Gamer, Game with Passion, Game with Honor. So, welcome to another episode. We've just finished off our deck building series, and now we are going into a new game. So this game right here is called Eternal Kings. Eternal Kings is kind of like a chess game with little magic cards instead of chess pieces. But each one has abilities, and you have other cards that can either enhance those abilities and kind of stuff like that. So it's a pretty cool game. It's not like a typical chess game, and it's not like really a Magic the Gathering kind of game. It's kind of like a blend of both games put together. So the game is done by Rolo Issa. He's a good friend. I've known him for a little while, and I've played the game a couple of times with some of his with some of his crew, some of my friends, and it's a fun game to play. So we're gonna go into it. So in this game, there are 4 different disciplines. You have strength, agility, wisdom, and intelligence. I knew it. I've been playing a lot of the intelligence ones. I'm really trying to get that one. But the nice thing about it is that you can actually intermix those different 4 sections and create your own little custom deck. So like it comes already pre-built with the decks already in there. But you can go ahead and take cards from one deck and put into another deck and make your own customized deck, and then go with that too if you want to. So it gives you a lot of options to really customize how you want to play the game. Now the game play is done pretty much just like a chess game is. One little thing that's kind of different though is that there are moves that you can make, little combos you can do where it would actually allow you to move 2, maybe 3 units doing that one turn instead of just 1 unit. Okay, so each piece that you have also has an ability. So some of them might be a draw card ability, some might be ability like Shadow, which can pass through other allied units, and Flight, which can go over any kind of traps, because you do have traps you can set in the game as well too. So things like that. So let's go into a quick game. Let's see, I'm just going to choose 2 of these. A little sniffy today. Alright, so we're going to take out 2 of these decks. I'm going to go with an intelligence and a wisdom, or actually a strength deck. Alright, so setting the game up, let's put these on the side. You have all the pieces that you would have doing a regular chess game. So you have your pawns, you have your rooks, you have your bishop, you have your knights, you have your king, and you have your queen. Okay? So all the pieces you would have in the regular chess game, you would have them here too. And you set them up accordingly. So you got your knights going over there, you have your rooks, you have your bishops, your queen. If you're playing white, then the queen will go into white. If you're playing black, then you switch it over and the queen goes into black. And then you have your pawns. Now, each one of the cards is actually 2-sided. So you can tell which side is which, because you have, well, one of them is kind of more in color, and the other one is more in like black and white, as far as the picture is concerned. The other thing is also you have a little symbol on the top right hand corner that has a little, it looks like 2 arrows creating a circle. So if you see that symbol, then you're on the back side of the card. If you don't see that symbol, then you're on the front side of the card. Alright, now once you have your setup, then you have your deck, and you go ahead and shuffle up your deck a little bit here. And you put the deck on the side, because you actually start off with no cards in your hand. So in order to get cards, you actually have to draw the cards based off of different cards that you might play that will allow you to draw the card. So like for example, with a lot of the pawns, they have an ability where you flip it over and you can draw a card. So we're going to set this up on the other side as well. And then we're going to a game. So this is a king. So king's going to go right here. Queen's going to be on black. Pawn, knight, pawn, and then deck. Okay. So once you have your game set up, and you notice that like either player can choose if they want to be white or black when they first start the game up. So, and I think it's white that goes first. So we're gonna go in here where if I'm white, this is gonna be black, and I'm gonna do my move. So every moves just like regular chess pieces. So your pawns on their first move can move 2 spaces forward, and then after that they're going to move 1 space. And if they're going to take another pawn or another piece, they have to do a diagonal. One thing I did notice in here was like there's a rule for chess players that there is no en passant move in here, which I had to look it up because I know what that was. Where you have a pawn right here on your side and another one here on your side, and then your opponent put one here, and then you can move diagonal behind it and still take the pawn and a square. So I didn't know about that before. I'm not much of a chess player. I know how to play chess. When it comes to strategy, I don't know anything. So I just kind of do moves that I've picked up every now and then. So usually I lose. But that's what makes this game fun, because you can be a chess master and still losing this game. You're like, what happened? Well, it's because the other player knows how to play their cards. So that part's pretty cool. So let's start doing our first move, and I'm going to go ahead and move my pawn. Now, when you move, you also have this little thing. So let me explain this right here. On the front of the cards, you have these 4 of those symbols. The first one, of course, tells you what player piece you're looking at, or what chess piece you're looking at. So in this case, it has the pawn symbol. And one on the left-hand side, on basically your left, my right, that number right there, that's like their attack power. That's how much damage. That's their attack that they do. The one on the other side, that's kind of like their defense. That's how much damage they can take. And then down at the bottom, that's their discipline and the amount that you get from the discipline. So down here, it has the same symbol as the discipline symbol, and it has a number of how much it costs. So this discipline gives you 4, and the discipline cost is 4 in order to flip it and draw a card. So when you activate a card, you're basically activating the discipline on it, and you can flip it over, and you get the ability of what it had. In this case, this one had a draw card, so I'm gonna draw a card, which is a white cast card. These are cards that you keep in your hand. You can play them out when you want to, and you pay the discipline cost that it costs for the card. So I'm gonna put this on the side right here. So I did my move. One question you might be asking is, okay, can you flip it over and then move somebody else? Technically not, because when you flip it over, you're activating it. So you have to also move with that one, unless you have a different ability. Like there's an ability on one of them where it says a target adjacent allied creature can move, even if it hasn't moved this turn. So you move it, and then you get the flip. So like that. So I have a person here, and I'm gonna go ahead and make a move just so you can see the combat. So I'm gonna take this other pawn on the other side, and I'm gonna go ahead and move it. I'm not going to activate his ability because his ability is a different one than this one is. It's like one of those special ones. Gives it a target adjacent allied creature can move if it has not moved this turn. Which actually, if I'm playing this right, I'm going to flip it first to activate it, and then do his move. And because I flipped it, it says a target adjacent creature can also move as though it hasn't moved this turn. Then I can go ahead and move this guy, and then I'll flip him and get a card. Now, Rolo, if you guys are watching this, if I did anything wrong, let me know, okay? But I'm pretty sure this is how I got it because I watched them when they played me and beat me. So now that I have a player here, and you notice I was able to move two because this ability allowed me to move another one, right? So now, back on my turn, I can do one of two things. I can go ahead and move one of my other player pieces, or I can go ahead and try to attack this one. Now, in this case, I'm going to go ahead and attack it. When you do the attacks are they're not necessarily simultaneous. The person who's doing the attack does damage first. And if it kills it, then it kills it, and then no damage is reciprocated, okay? So I'm going to go ahead and do this. I'm going to attack it, and I'm going to use my ability on here as it costs 0 to flip it back over again. So I flip it back over. That way I can activate it again my next turn. Okay, and I took out a pawn. All right, so we're gonna go ahead now. We have this guy right here. If I want to activate him, if I want to be able to use this ability again, I have to flip him over, but then I have to actually be able to move him as well too. All right, so in this case, I'm gonna go ahead and move a bishop. And bishop moves just like they do in chess. So they move diagonal, any number of space that you want. And his ability in this one, place target adjacent trap into an unoccupied space. So I don't have a trap to use. So I'm gonna move him. Move him to right here. And I'm not gonna use his ability as far as his ability, but I'm gonna do this one here. So place a venom bomb into an adjacent unoccupied space. When the creature enters the space, flip it, and then creature in this space must have their controller discard 2 cards. If they cannot, then the creature takes 5 damage, then destroy Venom Bomb. So I'm going to use his discipline cost, or his discipline, which is 4. This right here, this card gives me a discipline. It costs a discipline of 3. So I'll use those 4, and I can put it into an adjacent space. I'm going to put it right here, and it goes face down. I being the other player knows what it is, but the opponent doesn't know what it is. They just know it's a trap there. They don't know what it could be. Okay, it can be a track. It could be something that they can use later on, whatever it might be. All right. So because I used his discipline points, I flip him over without using his actual effects. I use the amount that he gave me on discipline to be able to play this card. Okay. So now it goes back to the other person's turn. They're gonna go ahead and go draw. So I got another card, and this one can't move anywhere. This one can, and we're going to do this. We're going to take one right here, flip it over to draw the card. All right, and now going back to the other person's turn, we're going to do 2 more turns, and then we're going to finish this off. So I'm going to go ahead and move my queen out just because I could. And I'm going to move my queen out, put over here, place a 1/1 mutant pawn token with a discipline of 0 into an unoccupied adjacent space. So I'm going to move it here. I'm going to flip her. And now I'll put a token in an adjacent space right here, so I'm going to put it right here. And then I'm going to stop right there. So you notice that the game has a lot of ability for combos. There's a lot of things you can do in the game where it makes it where it's not like a typical chess game. It actually adds more fun to it, so instead of just playing a regular chess game. So the gameplay is pretty cool, and it might take you a little while to get it on the first after like on the first 1 or 2 times to get it. But you know what? After you play it a few times, you start to get a hang of it. And then at that point, you just matter, okay, now let's dig more into our decks and find out what exactly I can do in this deck. You know, that's one thing I want to do. I've been trying to do right now lately is play it a little bit more, or even just look at the decks more, so I can get an idea of what the cards are. Because then I can go ahead and seriously customize my deck. But that's the nice thing about it. So when you get the box, it has 4 parts in here. Each one of these sections is a different deck that's already put together. It has all of your player pieces, and it has your whole entire deck that you can draw from already assembled, so you don't have to like sit there, okay, what am I supposed to put? It's already pre-configured for you. And then after that, after you play it a few times, and you say, okay, now you got the idea of it, then you can go out and start branching out and start building up your own little customized decks, and then go and play it and see how it works, and come up with your different combinations and stuff like that. So, so this is a Turn of Kings. Now, like I said, the game is pretty fun. The learning curve is not really much of a learning curve because even if you don't know how to play chess, the only thing you have to do then is just figure out how each piece moves. But the nice thing about that is in the instruction booklet, it actually gives you a diagram of every single one of the different player pieces and tells you how they move. So even if you've never played chess, well, now you can learn. And you can learn in a really fun way because even if you're playing somebody who is a chess master, if you know how to play your cards, you can still beat them. They can be, what's that guy's, Bobby Fischer, and you can probably still whoop their butt because you know how to play your cards better than they do. And that's what matters. So, this game is out. It was on Kickstarter last year and was successfully funded. Rolo has been demoing it at different conventions. I'm not sure if he's going to be at WonderCon, which is in a couple of weeks over here in Anaheim. But if he is, that'll be a good place to go and check it out and have a couple of goes at the game. He does have 2 expansions out. So one expansion is called Mercenaries, and the other one is called Survival. So with the Mercenaries, he's going to add a couple of new. I think it's new pawns, new rooks, knights, and some bishops to all 4 of the discipline classes. With the survival one, the survival is pretty cool because he adds not only like rooks, knights, and bishops and stuff, but there's new ability cards and there's like colorless cards. Now, what I mean by colorless, on each one of the different sets, if you're playing intelligence, strength, wisdom, agility, each one of them has a specific. It's all a specific discipline. So it's like having a different color in like Magic, right? Well, with the colorless one, they can be used for and be put into any one of the different decks because they're not specific to that one discipline. They provide, think of it, colorless. In fact, some of the cards in here, let's open one up. Oh, my bad. I was backwards. Okay, the survival is the one that gives you the new ones for each color. Sorry about that. But the mercenary, that's the one I was talking about that has the colorless ones. So with the mercenary ones, you have some that don't require any particular discipline, and they also provide an amount for each of the 4 disciplines. So like let's say if I have a strength one, I can play this card. I can have this card out, flip them, and gain 4 of strength. I can gain 4 of agility, 4 of intelligence, or 4 of wisdom. No matter depending on which one I want. This works really good if you are creating your own custom deck where you have like 1 or 2 or like more than one discipline inside your deck. These guys will be key to making that deck usable and be able to play it really easily. So the survival pack and the mercenary pack, I would say definitely if you have the game, if you don't have these packs, you want to get these 2 packs. I believe that's like $20 or something like that. I'm not sure. But you definitely want to get these 2 packs because these really enhance the gameplay on it and create a much more unique feel to the game because now it allows you to become a little bit more versatile in regards to making your different decks. So gameplay, fun factor. Let's go into the ratings. So for gameplay, the game is really fun. It's easy to play. It doesn't matter if you know how to play chess or not. In fact, actually, I'm going to teach my wife how to play this game, and I bet anything she'll probably like it. And if she doesn't, I'll make her like it. Anyway, but the gameplay, I would say, would be a 5 because it is an easy game to play. Easy game to play, hard game to master. I think of it that way because there's a lot of combos that you can do and you may not be aware of unless you really dig in and try every single one of the different cards out. Fun factor. Definitely the fun factor of the game is, I would say, a 4.5. The reason I give it a 4.5 instead of a 5 is the fact that while the game is fun, it is not easy to get people to come and play it, because it's kind of hard. I found it a little bit difficult to be able to explain exactly what the game is. I've told people, like, yeah, it's like a game. It's kind of like Magic the Gathering meets chess. That's the best I can describe it. It's not exactly Magic the Gathering, but then again, it has aspects of Magic where you are playing cards that give you abilities. It's not. It's chess, but then again, it's not, because you have cards that allow you to move more than one piece during your turn. So it's somewhere in the middle there. It's a fun game to play, and once they play it, they're like, oh, this game is pretty damn good. So I give it 4.5, but it's still a high score for me. For the theme, the game looks good. The theme of the creatures and stuff on the game, they're pretty dark. They're like that, and they're all pretty nice looking, like pretty cool looking. So the theme, the graphics, the layout of the cards and everything looks fantastic. The text, the font is easy to read. It's not too small. So for the theme, I would give it a 5. For the replayability, that one, give it a 4.5 for the same reason as a fun factor. While the game is incredibly fun to play, actually, no, never mind that. I'm gonna give it a 5 for the replay value, because of the fact that once you do play it that first time, then you're like, oh, I got it, and I think after that, you definitely would want to try it again. It's just getting that first initial play. That's the hardest part right there. So I give it a 5 for the replay. For the rules, so the rules in this one, actually, I don't usually give a 5 for the rules, because a lot of times the rules are really difficult to understand, and I've had to read them several times to get it. This one, the rules were actually easy to understand, and he went into a lot of detail to kind of remove as much questions about stuff as possible. So the rules, definitely, I'll have to give it a 5 for the rules, because the rules were easy to understand, and I didn't have to read it over and over again and then have to go back and check stuff. It gave me everything I needed the first time, so it's good. So all in all, it's a fun game. It's a great game. If you haven't played it, I definitely recommend you play it, because I think all of you will enjoy it. If you are going to the WonderCon convention in Anaheim on the 29th of March until the 31st of March, I believe Rolo will be there, and he'll be demoing this game. So I would say definitely stop by the game area and check him out. I'll be there as well, doing my company's game. And if you're not going to Anaheim Expo, or excuse me, the WonderCon, I believe he might be at Kingdom Con in San Diego, which is, I think, April 14th, I believe. And if not there, then you probably will catch him at the Strategicon in May over at the Hilton at LAX. So either way, I will put his website I'll put his website and his Facebook name on the video. So definitely I would recommend following his page, like his page, and that way you can see, I think he'll put in there where he's going to be at, kind of keep tabs on him. Let him know that William from Bushido Gamer sent you over there. Yeah, and definitely try this game out. Okay, I think it's going to be a fun game that everybody should play at least one time, if not more. Now, for our next game is going to be a Master Dragons. Master Dragons is a take on being the dragon that the adventurers go and kill, and you always see their gold, and you figure out, well, where the hell they get all their gold from? Well, now you get to play as a dragon where you're getting gold. So it's a cool game. It's done by Sean Solo Games, and that's going to be what we're going to do for next week. The week after that, we are going to be, I'm going to do another game, but then after that week, I will be over at WonderCon demoing Battle of Souls, my card game, and Death to Liberty, which is my other my board game. So if you guys are in the area, check them out. We did an unboxing video for it a couple of days ago for Death to Liberty, for the new version of the prototype. So that's going to be us. So, as always, my friends, game with passion and game with honor, and have fun. Take care. Face to your ass, my thing, you fucking cut half of that, you little punk. So I would say definitely stop by the game area and check them out. I'll be there as well. doing my company's game. And if you're not going to Anaheim Expo, or excuse me, the WonderCon, uh, I believe he might be at Kingdom Con in San Diego, which is, I think, April 14th, I believe. And if not there, then you probably will catch him at the Strategicon in May over at the Hilton at LAX. So either way, I will put his website on, or I'll put his website and his Facebook name on the video. So definitely I would recommend following his page, like his page, and that way you can see, I think he'll put on there where he's going to be at, kind of keep tabs on him, let him know that William from Bushido Gamer sent you over there. Yeah, and definitely try this game out. Okay, I think it'll be a fun game that everybody should play at least one time, if not more. Now, for our next game is going to be a Master Dragons. Master Dragons is a take on being the dragon that the adventurers go and kill, and you always see their gold, and you figure out, well, where the hell they get all that gold from? Well, now you get to play as a dragon where you're getting gold. So it's a cool game. It's done by Sean Solo Games, and that's going to be what we're going to do for next week. The week after that, we are going to be, I'm going to do another game, but then after that week, I will be over at WonderCon demoing Battle of Souls, my card game, and Death to Liberty, which is my other my board game. So if you guys are in the area, check them out. We did an unboxing video for it a couple of days ago for Death to Liberty for the new version of the prototype. So that's going to be us. So, as always, my friends, game with passion and game with honor, and have fun. Take care.